We have freedom, give us wings to protect it.
You'd expect them to do that. And, I can't say at this particular point what their chances are. But, what we're already, seeing here is that the Russians are digging in for the long haul. They have no intention of losing. And Ukraine cannot afford to have Russia basically annex its territory.
In the days before this war started, in the days after this war started, I told the administration point blank that they will absolutely deliver on things that they think are red lines that they would never deliver on, whether it's tanks or more advanced capabilities. They'll get there. The question is when. Once we got past the tank issue, the same kind of rhetoric unfolded with regards to planes. No planes. I mean, we'll end up probably eating our words there too pretty soon.
I spoke from this chamber 1 year ago, just days after Vladimir Putin unleashed his brutal attack against Ukraine. A murderous assault, evoking images of death and destruction Europe suffered in World War II.
I think, we've gone on a course that was sadly somewhat predictable. Once you have a great power conflict over territory in Europe, there tends to be a certain dynamic to it. And, when Russia invaded Ukraine and it very quickly became something other than a special military operation, which Putin was touting, basically he anticipated that this would be something that would be over in a week or so. I mean, we know that now, that the invading armies actually were bringing their dress uniforms with them, expecting to be able to festoon themselves with medals and clap on the back for basically bringing Ukraine back into the fold. But once it went beyond that, then we're already barreling towards something of much longer duration with much higher casualties. Would the Russians be contemplating a spring offensive? Of course they would be. They might also be trying to figure out what they can do in the interim. Because what Putin always wants to do is have the element of surprise. So if we're all looking over here, then he might do something over there.
Volodymyr Vladimirovich Putin.
Putin himself is under quite a lot of pressure internally now from people who want to, see this war ended. They want to get Ukraine to capitulate and to surrender. So the level of brutality is being stepped up.
Right now, it's still in a lot of ways too close to call, with the Russians being able to mobilize an industrial complex as brittle as it is. It's still enormous, so they could just throw enough people behind the war effort to potentially overwhelm the Ukrainians in a long war. I think all the benefits are on the Ukrainian side in the next months, in the next year or so.